Arya had always believed that life was supposed to move in a straight line. You dream, you work, and then one day everything falls into place, like the way movies show it. But reality is rarely that simple, and she learned that sooner than she expected. Growing up in a small town, she was known as the perfect child. Top grades, polite behavior, achievement certificates covering the walls of her room. Everyone assumed success was her destiny, and maybe that was the problem. She had been praised so often that she began to fear one thing more than anything else: making mistakes. Mistakes terrified her. A wrong answer, a slip of the tongue, a wrong decision. It felt like a crack in her perfect image. So she avoided risks. She did only what she was already good at. Life became safe, predictable, and small. That was until her first big dream knocked on her door. The first dream. At 16, Arya discovered coding during a school workshop. The instructor had shown them how a few lines of text could make a program come alive. Something inside her sparked. It was the first time she felt a passion so strong that she couldn't ignore it. She came home excited, telling her parents she wanted to become a software engineer. Her mother smiled. "If that's what you want, go for it." But her father frowned. "It's a tough field. Only the best survive there." Arya didn't argue. She simply nodded, but his words echoed in her mind. Only the best survive. She wanted to be the best. She had to be, right? So she began learning coding through online videos. At first everything seemed easy, simple, almost fun. But then she hit her first error. An endless stream of red text flashed on her screen. She tried again. Error again. Error. Her heart started pounding. She felt the familiar fear rising in her chest. What if I'm not good at this? What if this is a mistake? And like she had done all her life, she shut the laptop, took a deep breath, and walked away. But the difference this time was, something inside her didn't want to walk away. Something wanted to stay, to try again. For the first time, safe and perfect didn't feel satisfying anymore. That night, she opened the laptop again. One more attempt, and another, and another. Hours passed. She didn't notice time slipping away. When the code finally worked, it was the smallest program, just a calculator. But for her, it felt like victory. It was her first real step into a world where mistakes weren't failures. They were teachers. College and the collapse. Years passed, and Arya managed to get into a good engineering college. Her parents were proud. Friends congratulated her. Everyone expected her to soar. But college was nothing like she had imagined. The students were brilliant. Some had been coding since childhood. Others participated in competitions she had never even heard of. Professors talked so fast and used such technical language that she could barely keep up. On her first day after class, she sat on her bed feeling like she didn't belong. "Maybe I'm not meant for this," she whispered. Her roommate, Priya, glanced at her. "You look like you're fighting demons in your head." "I couldn't answer a single question." Priya shrugged. "So, mistakes happen." Arya stared at her, confused. It was the first time someone had said that so casually, as if mistakes were normal. That night she thought about it. Could mistakes really be okay? But the test results that came a month later crushed her hope. She barely passed. Her classmates scored 90s and 95s, and she had a 61. She sat outside the campus cafe, staring at the paper, feeling humiliation wash over her. She could hear her father's voice in her head. Only the best survive. Was she no longer one of the best? Was she failing at the one dream she had chosen for herself? For the first time, tears spilled down her cheeks. That's when her coding professor, Mr. Verma, happened to walk by. He noticed her results sheet and sat next to her. "You know," he said gently, "marks only measure how well you wrote an exam, not how well you will live your life." "But I made so many mistakes," she whispered. He smiled. "Good, that means you tried." She looked at him with wide eyes. Was this some kind of joke? Seeing her confusion, he added, "A student who never makes mistakes is a student who never tries anything new." That was the moment something clicked inside her. Mistakes were not proof of failure. They were proof of effort. The seniors encouraged her to try competitions. She agreed, though fear still twisted inside her. Her first hackathon was a disaster. They had 24 hours to build an app. Her team trusted her to handle the core feature. She tried, really tried, but her code didn't work. When they presented their project, it failed right in front of the judges. Her team looked devastated. One of the boys muttered loudly, "This is why amateurs ruin everything." The words stabbed her like knives. She felt small, embarrassed, worthless. After the event, she walked alone to her hostel, feeling like quitting everything. Maybe she wasn't meant for coding. Maybe she wasn't meant for anything big. But just as she reached the staircase, her phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. "You wrote clean logic. You just need more practice. Don't quit. Judge Rahul Sharma." Her breath caught. Someone had noticed her effort. Someone believed she could improve. That single message felt like someone had lit a tiny flame inside her chest. Weak but glowing. She didn't quit. She worked harder. Mistakes still came, but she didn't run from them anymore. 4. The job hunt. After graduation, the job search began. This was easily the toughest phase of her life. Rejection after rejection. We're looking for more experience. Your fundamentals need improvement. You need stronger logic. We'll get back to you. 23 failures. Each rejection hurt like a fresh wound. Her parents began to worry. Relatives whispered behind her back, "Poor girl, she was so good in school. What happened?" Arya cried many nights, wondering the same thing. One evening, after another rejection, she sat silently at the dining table. Her mother placed a warm hand on her shoulder and said, "You're not failing, Arya. You're learning how to rise." Her father added quietly, "Nobody becomes the best without falling first." She was shocked. The man who once expected perfection was now telling her that mistakes are part of success. Their words gave her strength. She made a plan. Practice coding every day. Solve at least 5 problems daily. Attend mock interviews. Improve communication skills. 1 month later, she got a call from a mid-sized tech company. "Your resume looks promising. Can you come tomorrow?" The interview was tough, but she wasn't afraid anymore. Mistakes didn't scare her. Her confidence, honesty, and improved skills shone through. 2 days later, she got the email. "Congratulations, you are selected." She screamed in joy, hugged her mother, and cried tears that had years of struggle behind them. She had risen. 5. Mistakes at work. Her job started well, but soon real challenges appeared. On her first big task, she accidentally wrote a script that ended up deleting a chunk of test data. Nothing permanent, but it disrupted the team's workflow. Her manager, Raghav, approached her. She braced for shouting. Instead, he said calmly, "Mistakes happen. Just make sure you learn from it. Next time, take a backup before running a script." She stared at him, stunned. He continued, "You know why we're patient with juniors? Because we've all made the same mistakes." She felt her heart lighten. For the first time, she realized that even professionals weren't perfect. They were just experienced learners. 6. A new idea. Months passed. Arya became better at her job, more confident, more skilled. One evening, while traveling home by bus, she saw a young girl crying over her exam paper. Her mother was scolding her harshly. The girl kept saying, "I made a mistake. I'm sorry." The scene hit Arya hard because she saw her younger self in that girl. That night, she thought, what if there was a platform that helped people learn from mistakes, instead of drowning in shame? By midnight, she had drawn the idea on paper, a mobile app, a community, a place where people could share their mistakes and receive guidance, advice, and positivity. She called it Rise Up. 7. The struggle of creation. Building the app was not easy. She worked after office hours, slept late, skipped weekends, and the mistakes, they were endless. Features crashed, servers failed, the UI looked bad, the login system didn't work, the database broke twice. Sometimes she wanted to cry, sometimes she wanted to throw her laptop away, but each mistake taught her something new. Every bug made her more skilled. Slowly, the app took shape. After 6 long months, Rise Up was ready. She launched it. Day 1, 14 users. Day 3, 37 users. Day 7, 100 users. People left emotional messages like, "I needed this. This helped me understand myself. I don't feel alone anymore." She cried reading them. Her little idea was making a difference. 8. Rising higher. As the weeks passed, Rise Up grew. New features, better design. A small team joined her. Articles were written about her project. Schools invited her as a motivational speaker. Then one day, she received an email. "We invite you to speak at TEDx." She froze. Tears filled her eyes. On the TEDx stage, she said, "I was once terrified of mistakes. Today, my life is built on the lessons they taught me. Every mistake you make is a stepping stone. Don't run from them. Use them. Rise higher." The hall erupted in applause. Her parents, sitting in the front row, clapped the loudest. 9. Full circle. Months later, Arya returned to her school as a guest speaker. She walked through the same corridors where she had once tried so hard to be perfect. She stood before hundreds of students and began, "I want to tell you something I wish someone told me when I was your age. It's okay to make mistakes. It's not okay to stop trying because of them." As she spoke, she saw a little girl in the front row, with tears in her eyes. Later, the girl approached her and said softly, "Ma'am, I always thought mistakes meant I was stupid, but now I feel maybe I can still be something." Arya knelt down and hugged her. "You can be anything," she whispered. "Just don't give up." The lesson of a lifetime. By now, Rise Up had crossed thousands of users. Her career was flourishing. Her confidence was unshakable. One evening, Arya sat by her window, watching the sunset, remembering everything. The failed hackathon, the low exam marks, the rejections, the tears, the pain, the fear, the mistakes. She smiled. Those mistakes were her teachers, her guides, her stepping stones. Without them, she would never have risen this high. She whispered to herself,
Every mistake is a lesson. Use it, improve, rise higher. And with that, she closed her laptop, ready to begin the next chapter of her life, a life built not on perfection, but on courage, learning, and relentless growth.